I just want to give some quick context before we get started. Pivotly started as a data platform, but we learned teams don't want just platforms. They want apps that solve specific problems. One of the biggest pain points we kept hearing from construction and pre-construction teams was early stage takeoff accuracy and scope clarity. Today I'll demo how we approach takeoff, materials extraction, early analysis, and file revisions, with the goal of reducing time and risk at the front end of estimating. Before we jump into the product, I just want to level set on what we have been hearing. Most contractors that we've been speaking with are dealing with large RFPs, sometimes hundreds or thousands of pages, where you're trying to figure out very quickly, is there scope here for us? What exactly are we responsible for? Are there any risks, inconsistencies, or missing information that could impact the bid? Our goal today is to show how we help you get those answers much earlier in the process without replacing your expertise or forcing you to trust a black box. What you're looking at here is a project workspace. This is where you can create a project and upload any documents related to the bid. This would include RFPs, specs, addenda, drawings, or plan sets. Here you're able to name the project, and you can rename any documents before uploading for improved document management. Once the documents are uploaded, we pre-process them so the system can work with both large text documents and plan pages efficiently. You're not limited by document size. We break documents down into manageable pieces behind the scenes so that processing stays fast, even on very large bid sets. A core part of the product is what we can refer to as scope intelligence. Instead of manually flipping through pages, the system analyzes the documents and extracts relevant scope-related information. This includes things like scope summary, project risks, insurance and permit information, dates, deadlines, deliverables. It also can include missing information. Each finding is tied back to the exact page that it came from, so you're never guessing where information originated. One important concept that I want to highlight is the persona-based analysis. You can tell the system how to read the document depending on what you're focused on. For example, you might want to run it with a legal lens, and then run it again with an estimator or manager lens. The extracted information overlaps, but the emphasis changes based on the role you select, which helps cut down on noise. The other feature I want to highlight is the Find This Topic feature. If there's something very specific that you care about, like signage, material sourcing, or a specific phrase, you can use the Find This Topic search. This isn't just keyword matching. The system looks for meaning. So if the document uses different terminology, you'll still get relevant results. This is especially useful when you want to confirm something like, is there any US-made steel? It will show you where it appears and then how frequently it shows up across the document. When you are looking at the results, you are able to click on them and it will show you a summary of what was found, why it was flagged, the AI confidence level, and most importantly, the page reference. From there, you can jump directly to the source page and do a quick human review. We see this as a way that you can get about 70 to 80% understanding very quickly, so your time is spent validating, not hunting. Once you've reviewed the findings, you can export results in different formats, such as PDFs or spreadsheets, depending on how you need to use the data. Some teams use this internally to support bid decisions. Others share it with stakeholders to highlight risks or open questions before moving forward. Once we've helped you understand scope, the next common ask is, can you turn drawings into bill of materials that we can price? The problems that we have heard from groups is that they want to take the materials shown in technical drawings and convert them into an export typically Excel, that they can send to vendors for line item quotes. Doing this manually is time compressed, error-prone process, especially when you're dealing with hundreds, if not thousands, of items on a bid. The system will identify the bill of materials. In this example layout, it appears in the top left, and it will extract every row. Each extracted item is normalized into consistent fields and can be AI enriched for categorization and cleanliness to make the downstream process easier. Results are exported into a spreadsheet that can be shared with estimating teams or sent directly to vendors for quotes. On larger sets, the emphasis is on completeness first, then minor formatting cleanup. In the internal review, we have found the sample produced a near complete export. The main edge case to watch for is occasional extra fragments caused by inconsistent formatting, but that's typically obvious to the reviewer and easy to filter out. The reason this matters is speed. If you can turn a bill of materials into a clean export quickly, you can get it out to vendors faster, get pricing back faster, and reduce the scramble that happens when a bid is due in a few weeks. On the drawing side, we also support automatic takeoff workflows. You can identify items on a plan, see where they appear, and manually add or remove results if needed. This is especially useful when you're trying to understand quantities like number of doors or number of rooms before committing time to a full manual takeoff. The intent here isn't to replace estimator judgment, but to reduce the upfront effort required to get started. One last thing that I do want to call out is document revisions and addenda. This is a very common pain point. You do the work, and then a week later, a new version drops that changes the scope or quantities or requirements. We are actively working on a document version management and comparison. While this is still a work in progress, I can show you the basic workflow that we're building towards. You can upload the new version of the document and associate it with the original version of the document. And then you will be able to clearly see what has changed, whether that's text-based or drawing updates. The long-term goal is to highlight only what's different, so you don't have to re-review the entire document every time a revised document comes in. At a high level, that's how teams are using the platform today. Faster understanding of scope, early risk identification, less time spent searching, and more time spent making informed bid decisions. The next best step is always to run this against one of your real projects so you can see how it performs with your documents and workflows. Please reach out to us today.